Quiet wealth isn't about being flashy. It's about planting seeds patiently, consistently, and letting them grow into something more meaningful. You don't need to show wealth to build it. For a long time, I thought wealth had to look a certain way. High-end cars, trendy clothes, and big upgrades. But I've learned that real wealth isn't always visible. It's in the choices that you make day to day. I used to think that if you were doing financially well, people should see it. But now my 45-year-old self knows it's far more powerful when they don't. My wife and I, we drive older vehicles and we live in a comfortable townhome, but nothing flashy. We travel with intention, not extravagance. And we say no to things that don't align with our long-term goals. What quiet wealth taught me is that looking rich and being financially secure are often two totally different things. And over time, you stop craving validation and you start seeking peace. Wealth, it's what you don't see. Paying off our home early was about our peace, not pride. So my wife and I, we paid off our home nearly a decade ahead of schedule. That's something that we don't really share, but here's why it matters. We live in Toronto, one of the most expensive cities in Canada. Housing costs are no joke. But 16 years ago, my wife and I, we made a plan to be mortgage-free before we turned 45. And even through life's many, many curveballs, we stuck to it. The extra payments, the budgeting, delayed upgrades, it wasn't glamorous, but it gave us something more valuable than granite countertops or anything of that kind of luxury. What it gave us was peace of mind. It's hard to describe that feeling when that final mortgage payment clears. It's quiet, but it's powerful. And now that that weight is off our shoulders, we can invest more, save more, and live with less stress. And honestly, the big one for me as a husband, as a father, it brings me a lot of comfort and a lot of security, knowing that if I were to pass away tomorrow, that my wife would never have to worry about the financials, and her and our girls will always have a home and a roof over their heads. The best investment you can make is in your peace of mind. Time, it's the most underrated form of wealth. So there was this moment that just recently hit me. I was dropping off our youngest daughter at daycare, then I came home, and then I walked our other daughter to her bus stop before slowly going back into our house and having a calm, quiet breakfast with my wife. No rush, no guilt, no explaining to anyone, just time. And then I realized this was the wealth I've been chasing all along. The ability to use my day any way I want. Honestly, it's something that just creeps up on you. One day, you're grinding away at every single dollar. And then the next, your money is quietly working for you in the background. And then you get your life back. Quiet wealth gave me time to think, time to breathe, and time to be present for my family. And once you get a taste of that, it's honestly hard to go back. You can always make more money. You can't make more time. Wealth, it quietly teaches those around you. Like I mentioned earlier, we have 2 daughters and they're watching everything. We don't lecture them about money. We just try to live in a way that teaches them by example. The thing is, they see how we shop, how we avoid impulse buys, and how we talk about saving for our future and not always spending for the moment. So my oldest daughter recently asked me about compound interest and investing, not because she had to, but because we involve her regularly in that part of our family conversation. So with quiet wealth, it isn't just about what we accumulate, but it's about the inheritance that we pass down. And I don't mean just in the form of money, but also in the mindset and in the knowledge that we're going to pass on to our kids and our kids' kids and our future generations of our family. Children learn more from what you are than what you teach. The car you drive doesn't define you. So for years, I had this feeling like I needed to upgrade my car to match where we were financially. But every time I thought about it, I'd ask myself why. Our 2 cars, one's from 2015 and the other one's 2016, are reliable, safe, and both fully paid off. And personally, that's worth more to me than some sort of badge. So here's the thing. No one's ever complimented me about my car or criticized about it. They don't even notice it, to be honest with you. And when you start realizing that, it's freeing. Because here's the thing. That pressure to impress, it's expensive. And more often than not, it's self-imposed. Too many people spend money they haven't earned to buy things they don't want, to impress people they don't like. Having liquidity builds quiet confidence. So I never used to think about cash on hand. To me personally, it always felt like money should be doing something. But then I started seeing it differently. Having liquid savings, real accessible cash, is like walking around with an invisible safety net. Emergencies, they become inconveniences, and opportunities don't get missed, and financial stress doesn't spiral out of control. And honestly, it didn't happen overnight. But through consistent effort, we built a financial cushion that gives us plenty of room to breathe. And that buffer, it changes everything. It lets you sleep better at night, no matter what the market or the economy is doing. Cash is not the goal. Cash is the tool. Simplicity is a financial advantage. Look, I'll be honest with you. At one point, I thought the key to growing wealth was complexity. Multiple portfolios, trying to beat the market. But honestly, the more I learned, the more I simplified. And today, my wife and I's portfolio comprises of one ETF fund and 20 very specific cash flowing dividend aristocrat stocks that we fully understand like the back of our hand, along with steady contributions to our registered investing accounts and fully funded RESP accounts for both our daughter's education funds. That's it. It's that simple. We don't chase trends. We don't time the market. We focus on time in the market, and we focus on the long game. And the results? Less stress, fewer mistakes, and better returns. Simplicity isn't a step backwards. It's a step towards clarity. And that clarity makes your money work harder for you. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Privacy creates peace. So back in the day, I used to think that when you hit a certain milestone, you should share it like a badge of honor. But honestly, my wife and I come to appreciate privacy, just intentional quiet. Most people don't know what we've saved or invested, and they don't know our house is fully paid off. And I'll be honest with you, that's by design. There's less comparison, less pressure, and more focus. Honestly, financial privacy gives you room to think, to pivot, and make the decisions based on what's best for you, not what looks right from the outside. Live quietly in your own way. Financial literacy changed the game for me. Honestly, reading about money started off as a hobby for me, but over the years, it became one of the most valuable habits in my life. And here's the thing, books like The Next Millionaire Next Door, The Psychology of Money, The Richest Man in Babylon, The Simple Path to Wealth, The Wealthy Barber, The Total Money Makeover, and The Legacy Journey opened my eyes. They opened my eyes to different ways of thinking about finances. I stopped seeing money as a measure of status and started looking at it like a tool for freedom, for generosity, and for impact. So if you're not sure where to start with one of the books that I just listed and let it guide you and let it challenge you, because the more you learn, the more you earn, and not just in dollars, but in confidence. Formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Freedom looks a lot different than I imagined. So when I was younger, I thought freedom meant retiring early on some beach somewhere. But honestly, now at 45 years old, freedom looks a lot like waking up with zero anxiety. It looks like taking a walk with my wife in the middle of the day, during the middle of the week, because we can. It looks like spending on the things that matter and brings true joy to our lives and skipping out on the rest. So here's the truth about freedom. It's not about escaping work. It's about choosing how and when to work and knowing you're not trapped. Quiet wealth helped me find a version of life that was calm, centered, and sustainable. The goal isn't more money. The goal is living life on your terms. Quiet wealth is time wealth. Now, if you've watched this to the end and you're working towards more peace in your finances, just know you're not alone. And remember, it doesn't have to happen overnight. You don't need to impress anyone. You just need to stay committed, keep learning, and move with purpose. Quiet wealth isn't about how much you show. It's about how much choice you have and having the time and space to make those choices with intention. And those choices, they add up to a life that's rich in all the ways that matter. So are you practicing quiet wealth? Drop a comment down below and share your experience. So look, if you found value in this video, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe for more personal finance tips. So this is Simply in the Black, helping you stay out of the red and into the black for good. I'll see you guys in the next one. So if you want to learn more about financial independence and the 12 steps that you need to take in order to retire early, feel free to click on this video.